Okay, today we will go through BA2 chapter material, or you can say material stock control. You can say this is material stock control. Okay, just check your email today at night. I will email you, or even this video will be uploaded in our page as well as the question book. Okay, so today we'll go through the chapter which is called material stock control. I try to go through according to the class course that I'm going to provide you. Right? Okay. The chapter name is material stock control. Suppose you are the part of the managerial board. Even you are the financial manager. In that case, your main task is to enhance the profit portion, and your main task is to decide some way so that you can control over the cost. And within the business organization, material is one of the most important and the largest portion of cost, right? So you have to focus how you can control the costs which are related to material. Today's chapter is focusing on that segment, how you can control over the material cost, right? Initially we'll focus reasons for stocking. Why the organization need to stock the material. I have already said that is I will go through according to your class notes. Okay. Reasons for stocking. Why the organization need to stock the material. Right? Okay. In many cases, organization there may be huge amount of demand that may comes or that may arise from the customer. Organization need to support that demand. If the organization cannot support the demand, it may be possible the organization will lose its customer because some other competitors will capture that portion, right? So to support this immediate demand, organization always needs to stock finished goods. Number one. Then if you think about the raw material, organization need to operate 24 hours, 7 days. Only to create efficiency. Only to lower the manufacturing cost with the decision of economies of scale. What is the, or what do you mean by this? That is, if the organization can operate it 24 hours, 7 days for mass production, only for the mass production, organization can create efficiency. Efficiency means organization can provide output with lesser cost. Just think of a small example. Suppose you are a garment manufacturer. Each and every day you provide $10 to your worker. If your worker can produce 10 t-shirts with $10 per t-shirt manufacturing cost, labor purpose is $1. But if some way, in any way, if your labor can manufacture 20 t-shirts, that means if he can go for mass production, per t-shirt manufacturing cost for labor purpose go down. That means for organization purpose, if the organization want to go for economies of scale, if the organization want to create efficiency, organization need to operate 24 hours, 7 days. Recording hocche, 7 days. And if the organization want to operate 24 hours, 7 days, it is obvious that it should stock raw material as well. Why? If any cases raw material stock ended up, that means the stock out occurred, the production will be collapsed. And production collapse means obviously your manufacturing cost per unit goes up. This is Even think yourself, suppose you are a business people. To operate the business, you need to purchase the raw material. Your supplier may provide discount offers. How you can take the discount? By bulk amount of purchase, right? That means bulk amount of purchase means you have to stock it. So up to this level of discussion, we are very much confirmed that is stocking is must for the business organization, right? So we can say stocking is must, right? Okay. In this real world, nothing is free. If you want to do any kinds of things, you have to spend against that. Cost is there. And management accounting means, here we are saying to deal with the management accounting, managerial kinds of costs, right? So stocking is must means, with this stocking, there are some kinds of cost related. We need to focus on that. Clear? Okay. So, what about the different kinds of cost is related with this stocking or inventory maintaining? Depend upon some criteria, characteristics, we can divide all those costs into two different groups. One is holding cost, another is ordering cost. Holding cost per unit is symbolized by CH and ordering cost per order is symbolized by CO, right? That's it. So now it is clear to us that is with stocking we have to deal with two different types of cost. One is CH, another is CO. First of all, holding cost CH. CH means that is the cost required to hold the average or hold the inventory in your warehouse or to hold the inventory. If you think a while, just a little while if you think, you can find out these are the cost. Initially, first of all you need to purchase the raw material, right? So huge amount of capital will be tied with the purchase price, right? But the fact is, normally when the organization actually purchase any kinds of things, organization use borrowings amount or organization actually finance this from the bank. That means in against that organization need to provide interest, right? So interest is a kind of cost which is comes under holding cost, right? Then number two, after purchase is committed, suppose you purchase raw material from one of your supplier who is in Australia. You need to bring this raw material into our or your organizational premise, right? Before shipment, you need to insure your raw material. Without the insurance, your ship will not be or your goods will not be shipped. That means you have to insure your raw material for making safeguard, and for this reason you have to provide a specific amount of insurance premium for this reason. So that insurance premium is a kind of cost. Now, when you bring in this raw material into your organizational premise, in some cases you need to process this raw material. That processing cost also comes in holding cost. Then it may be possible that is your raw material need some warehousing, cooling or heating, just like that, right? So warehousing charge as well. Warehousing charge. So normally when you add up all these kinds of cost, it will provide me or it will provide you ultimately your holding cost of that individual stock. Clear? But here we need to memorize or we need to focus, that is, when we calculate the holding cost, this CH means holding cost per unit. So it is just like the variable cost per unit. Holding cost per unit or variable cost per unit, just like the same. Suppose per unit holding cost is 2 taka. Per ton holding cost is $2. Suppose, as for example. So if you hold 2 ton, your requirement is 4 taka. If you hold 4 ton, your requirement is 8 taka. Just like the variable cost per unit. So you can say, or you will see, the total holding cost line, it is a linear equation just like the variable cost per unit, and this is CH, holding cost per unit, as we have discussed earlier, which is variable cost per unit. So there is a constant relationship between cost and the average amount or amount that you are holding or that you are stocking. As you are increasing the stocking amount, it will generate or it will increase the cost at a constant rate. What is that? That is CH, holding cost per unit. That's why this is your total holding cost line, just like the total variable cost line. Clear? So up to this level of discussion, it is very much clear. That is, if you take the decision to hold larger amount, larger holding cost will be there. If you hold smaller amount, your total holding cost will be smaller, short. Now comes in the CO. CO. This is called ordering cost per order. Here you need to focus, that is, in a specific order, you can order different amount of stock. Either you can order 5 ton or 8 ton or 10 ton, it doesn't matter. Here the cost actually associated according to the number of order that you are going to place within a year. Each order you can place different amount. You can order for different amount, that doesn't matter, right? So the fact is, the ordering cost actually divided into 2 different groups. One is carrying cost or freight transportation charge. That is when you purchase some raw material from your supplier who is in Australia, you have to transport this, or you have to bring this raw material from Australia to Bangladesh or your original premise. So that amount of cost is called freight transportation or carrying charges. Baba, class শেষ, কিছু বলবা? বলো। কেন? Carrying charges or freight transportation charges, or you can say delivery charges. There is shipment charge, right? Then another cost is admin cost, administrative charges. Administrative cost, this is the cost which is associated to place a specific order. Normally, this is the time spent by the procurement department to place an order and have that order. And time is money for this. So when you add up these 2 kinds of costs, it will provide you the ordering cost. And CO represent ordering cost per order. Clear? Okay. Now you need to know the graph. Here you need to remind 2 different things. One is D. D means annual demand of your business operation. And normally, to make a specific model, we assume D is always fixed. And in these kinds of mathematics or mathematical problem solving, we always have to calculate this D annual basis. That means, in some cases, you will be provide D monthly. You find out the D annual basis, because the model that we are going to discuss later on, in that model, D is annual. And D is fixed. Your total demand in a specific year is fixed. Now the fact is, TCO. TCO means total ordering cost. CO means ordering cost per order, and TCO means total ordering cost. total ordering cost actually go down, and there is no sort of constant relationship, there is proportionate relationship. That's why this is curved line. This is not a straight line. If you think for two different places, this is A and this is B. First of all, think your demand is fixed. As for example, your annual demand is 20 metric ton. 20 metric ton. You can order this amount per order, or even you can increase the amount per order. Suppose, as for example, to have 20 metric ton in a year, each time you are deciding to order 5 metric ton. 5 metric ton. So to have 20 metric ton, you need to provide how many times order? 20 divided by 5, 4 times order, right? Number of order is 4 times. Now you are taking decision, that is each time you will provide 10 metric ton rather than 5 metric ton. 10 metric ton. So when you are ordering 10 metric ton, that is when you are increasing your amount to have that 20 metric ton, you have to place 2 times order, right? So as you are increasing the volume, it lowers the number of order. Here, as the number of order decreased, CO is calculated by per order. That's why with the reduced number of order, your total CO decreased. That's why the line is just like this one. But why the curved line is this? Rather, this is a straight line. A straight line is there only when there is a constant relationship between the variables. But here, variables is one is cost, another is amount of order. There is no sort of constant relationship, rather proportional relationship. That's why the line is curved. Clear? Now, we have to find out another important thing, that is CH and CO related problems. Being a manager, you need to reduce the portion of cost, right? In every aspect or in every step, you need to reduce the portion of cost. Suppose, as for example, you want to TCH, TCO. You want to reduce this cost. You want to decrease your total holding cost. We have already discussed that holding cost is behave just like the variable cost part, right? So if you want to lower your total holding cost, you have to hold up lower amount, lesser amount. So how you can reduce this, or how you can decrease this holding cost? By holding lesser amount or smaller amount. Smaller stock. It will affect here. How? We have already discussed. That is, as you are stocking lesser amount, to have the total fixed demand in a year, your number of order increase. So here, the number of order increase, and with the increased number of order, your total order cost also increase. Now you want to decrease your total ordering cost. How you can do that? I can decrease my total ordering cost by decreasing the number of order. If I can manage myself to reduce the number of order, it will obviously reduce the total ordering cost. But it will affect here. How? As you are decreasing the number of order to have the total fixed amount, fixed demand, each and every order you have to place larger amount of order, and you have to stock larger amount of volume shares. So it will ultimately increase your TCH. So this is the pitfall or dilemma in maintaining or lowering the cost regarding or dealing with CH and CO. But you are a manager, you need to take the decision. So now the question is if the problem is just like this, how much to be ordered and how much to be stocked, so that the stock related annual cost will be minimum. Minimum means the least. So that's why we will discuss the EOQ which is called economic order quantity. It will provide you a specific amount of quantity which to be stocked, which to be ordered, and which to be stocked, so that end of the day your stock related TAC means total annual cost will be minimum. After the discussion of the problem between CH and CO, we question ourselves, that is how much to be ordered and stocked so that the stock related cost will be minimum. That answer actually comes from this specific model. This model is here. EOQ quantity is root over 2COD by CH. You know the symbolized meaning. CO means ordering cost per order. That means cost required by the organization to place an individual order. That is CO. D, we have already discussed, that is D should always calculate by annual demand, annual basis. Memorize it. CH, holding cost per unit. Clear? So by putting this value, you can find out the Q, which is called EOQ, economic order quantity. Here you need to know that. What do you mean by economic order quantity? I just say it again. Economic order quantity actually provide me a specific amount which to be ordered, which to be stocked, so that end of the year, my total stock related annual cost, which is called TAC, total annual cost, will be minimized. We can show this through a specific EOQ chart, EOQ graph. Okay. See? Graph. We are dealing with two different types of cost, right? One is CH, this is CH, another is CO, this is TCO. If you add these two graphs at the same time, that means by combining these two graphs, you can have a specific one, just like this question. If you add these two graphs, make it easily key, the graph will be just like this one. This is your TCH, this will be your TCO. Both these graphs will be segmented a specific point. See, this is one type of cost, holding cost. This is another type of cost, which is called ordering cost. If you combine these two costs, you will have TAC, total annual cost, stock related annual cost. The annual cost curve will be just like this one. This is called TAC. TAC means when you add up both these two types of cost, when you add up these two types of cost, that will provide you the TAC. See, if you think about this level, you are stocking this level, this amount. Your stock holding cost is this much, and your ordering cost is this much. When you add up this much and this much, it will provide you the total cost this much, right? As you are stocking more, the stocking is more, your holding cost is increasing, but your ordering cost is decreasing, right? So that's why one is offsetting the another, one is complementing another. As a whole, your total TAC is decreasing. At this point, when both the line is segmented, see, suppose this quantity, this is EOQ, and this much is called EOQ quantity. If you go there, this is the combination of two different graphs. So here, this is one is TCH and another is TCO. You can say, see according to the graph, at this point, when you are ordering this quantity and stocking this quantity, your holding cost is this much as well as ordering cost is this much. If you go further, suppose as for example this level, in that case your ordering cost, that you are ordering much more voluminous, your ordering cost go down, but your holding cost go up. Clear? So and only in this position both these costs will be equal, and in this cost your total the stock related cost will be minimum, least. See, one is CO is decreasing, but holding cost per unit is uprising, and this uprise is much more than individual CO. So as a whole your TS will increase. Here CH is increasing, but CO is decreasing. But here per CO is decreasing more than the per CH, and here per CH is increasing more than the per CO. That's why the total cost is uprising here. Clear? Okay. So we need to find out this. So from this graph we can say some assumption, which is called assumption related EOQ or EOQ related assumption. That means to find out the EOQ model, we assume some components, fixed masses. What are those components? Clear? সফট কপিটা দেখবা, যেটা আজকে পাঠাবো, এটা চেঞ্জ করা, এখানে গ্রাফ ট্রাফ দিয়ে দেওয়া আছে। EOQ related assumptions. EOQ related assumptions. In this June, I will try to compare the mark obtained by my students from different geographical location. What amount of mark or what is a score scored by my Khulna student, Chittagong and Dhaka. So by comparing these three geographical locations, I will find out the best scorer. Then I will compare that score with my student surrounded or spread all over the world. All over the world, United States is there, United Kingdom is there, Nigeria is there, India, Pakistan is there. Then the individual who has scored the most, I will name that student in my place. Student of the year. Student of the year. Okay, so EOQ assumptions. At EOQ, we have already discussed the graph. At EOQ, number 1, my TCH and TCO was equal. Can you shuffle your memory? The discussion we just ended according to graph. The total CH and total CO should be equal when you are ordering or stocking according to your EOQ. So if you are calculating any kinds of math using your EOQ, your TCH and TCO, calculate TCH and TCH must be equal. If there is any dissimilarities, need to find out values. Then number 2. Number 3. TCO. TCO means total ordering cost. Total ordering cost means ordering cost per order. This should be multiplied by number of orders. How you can find out the number of orders? CO, number of order. We have already discussed my demand D, annual demand is fixed. Suppose my demand is 20 metric ton. Each and every time I am ordering according to my EOQ, right? So suppose each and every time I am ordering 5 metric tons. So how many times I have to place the order? 20 by 5. So you can say by EOQ, right? D by EOQ should provide the number of order. So you have to multiply this with the ordering cost per order, which will provide you the TCO. Clear? Then number 3. Number 3, TCH. Holding cost per unit here you should be focused, because in normal senses it means total holding cost means holding cost per unit into total number of holded amount, right? But this is a specific model. For this model we have to assume something. That's why the fact is EOQ assumption. And here the EOQ actually assuming, that is total CH or total holding cost means that amount of cost which is required to hold up the average level of inventory, not the total. So you have to memorize this, right? So TCH means, I want to say once again, that is total holding cost means total cost which is required to hold up the average level of inventory. And how you can find out the average level of inventory? That means CH into average inventory or average stock. Now the question is how we can find out this average stock, right? This average stock means average stock means this is also provided by the EOQ assumptions. Average stock means EOQ divided by 2, or EOQ divided by 2 when there is no safety stock or safety measurement requirement by the organization. But if there is a strategy by the organization to maintain a safety stock, in that case average stock means Q by 2 plus safety inventory or safety stock. This safety inventory or safety stock may be called buffer level of inventory, may be called minimum level of inventory, right? So you can say this is safety inventory, safety stock, buffer level of stock, buffer level of inventory, minimum stock, minimum level of inventory. Clear? Now, end of the day. Now, end of the day, you need to find out the TAC, total annual cost. And total annual cost means total holding cost plus total ordering cost. Even it may be calculated just like this: total holding cost plus total ordering cost plus TP, total purchase price. We have discussed holding cost, we have discussed ordering cost, and TP, total purchase price. That is purchase price required to purchase the material from your suppliers. Clear? Okay. So these are the EOQ related assumptions. Now the question is,
so purchase price or ordering price?
not that. Suppose you are purchasing plastic for your plastic as a kind of raw material for your pen from a supplier. Suppose per pound plastic is $2. This is purchase price. Purchase price P. To bring this into your organization premise, you need carrying cost, freight transportation charge, as well as administrative expenses there. Time, we have discussed, there is time required to place an order and have that order. That is your ordering cost. Clear? Now the fact is, EOQ versus bulk. Bulk means lot. Why we have to discuss that? We calculate our EOQ. So it means that to minimize the total stock related cost, we always order according to my EOQ, right? This is the normal scenario. But the fact is, to whom you are placing order, the supplier. Supplier is also doing business, and in his business he try to sell his raw material or sell his supply as early as possible, right? So he can provide discount offer. And when the discount offer is there, supplier actually provide discount offer for a large or voluminous amount of purchase. So now you need to compare according to EOQ and bulk. Bulk means lot, and with the lot there is a amount of discount in the purchase price. So you can say with the bulk there is a discount offer, discount provision. So how you can compare that? So when this provision is there, so you have to compare between these two types of things. That's what the video now. So you have to compare between EOQ as well as bulk. Bulk is flux. Here TCH. Here TCH means holding cost into average level of inventory. That means EOQ by 2. But here TCH means holding cost per unit, just like the same. But here the average inventory will be bulk by 2. So obviously this amount is more than this. That's why the total multiplication result here it will increased more than this amount, right? Then TCO means here CO into number of order. Number of order is demand by EOQ, but here CO into demand by, here you are ordering bulk rather than EOQ, right? So see, the number of order here will be less than the number of order here, because here you are in this position, you are ordering bulk, huge amount rather than EOQ. That's why to achieve the D annual basis, the number of order will be reduced. So it will decrease than this, right? And end of the day, TP, total purchase price. Here in a year you are purchasing this amount according to your demand, right? Into purchase price per unit. But when you are ordering bulk, demand is fixed, but here another new purchase price will be activated, and obviously this new purchase price will be less than this initial purchase price. Why? Because here the supplier is offering you discount offer, discount provision. So obviously this multiplication later will be decreased than the previous one. So end of the day, when you add up these three things and these three components, it will provide you TSE for EOQ and TSE for bulk. Which is lesser, you can go for that. Clear? Then we'll discuss another component which is called EBQ, economic batch quantity. EBQ equal to root over, just like the previous one, 2 COD by CH into 1 minus D by R. Some differences there. At the time of EOQ, we said that how much to be ordered and how much to be stocked, so that your stock related TSE, total annual cost, stock holding related annual cost to be minimized. Here EBQ is something different. What is EBQ? Means economic batch quantity. How many to be manufactured within a lot, within a batch, so that end of the day your total manufacturing cost will be minimized. Can you differentiate the differences between these two? In the earlier, we try to minimize the stock related annual cost. Here we try to minimize the manufacturing cost. Initially we are ordering and stocking. Here we are manufacturing. Here some differences is also there. CO is just like the ordering cost per order. CH is holding cost per amount of holded. D annual demand, but here CO. Initially CO means ordering cost per order. Freight transportation charge were there, then administrative charge were there, etc. But now material is in-house. That's why in EBQ, CO means machine setup cost. Before starting manufacturing a batch or lot, there are some machine setup cost. Here CO means machine setup cost, and CH just like the previous ordering cost. Now you have to memorize. If you manufacture the batch within short interval in a year, that means number of machine setup will be increased, right? But if you manufactured in larger interval but larger batch, one increase, another decrease, just like the previous one. Larger interval, machine setup cost will go down, but holding cost will go up. Smaller interval, number of machine setup costs are priced, but you have to hold lower amount, just like the previous. Clear? Another thing is D is annual demand, but here R means annual replenishment rate, or you can say annual capacity of your machine, and obviously D will be less than R. What is the capacity of machine? Machine cannot. It is not possible that machine will handle its total capacity. Always handle less than the capacity, right? And we have already discussed how many to be ordered per stock, right? Suppose this is your warehouse. Now the question is, this is full, this is medium, this is backward. Now the question is, we have discussed how much to be ordered. Now the question is when to be ordered. The fact is, when the warehouse empty, then you place the order. When the warehouse is 50% full, then you place the order, or when the order is. So that's why the question is reorder level. The question is reorder level, or you can say when to be ordered. This reorder level equal to uses into lead time. Uses into lead time. Lead time means that is time gap between placing an order and having that order. Suppose if you today place an order to one of your suppliers in Dhaka, that's the minimum time required to have the delivery. Suppose 2 days or 3 days, right? So reorder level will be uses into lead time, when both uses and lead time is constant. You may be provided uses and lead time both max and min. Your machine capacity maximum uses is there, minimum uses is there. Lead time, maximum lead time, minimum lead time. In that case, the reorder level will be max uses into max lead time. Clear? Normally reorder level means uses into lead time when both uses and lead time are constant. But when both uses and lead time is not constant, in that case your reorder level should be maximum uses into maximum lead time. That means when you are multiplying both the maximum things, it will provide the maximum amount. Maximum amount means from the maximum amount you have to reorder. Before the replenishment comes forward, if anything goes wrong, still you may have some specific time in your hand because you are placing order earlier. Clear? Okay. Then this reorder level can be subdivided into 2 different groups. One is max level, another is min level. This is max. This is min. Both are the threaded level for the management. Why threaded level for the management? See the maximum level. Just think yourself, when you refuel gasoline in your motorcycle or motorbike or car, you load the full tank and then tight that. Always there is some vacuum portion, right? Why you need to maintain that vacuum portion? Because there may be some evaporation. So maximum level is a kind of threaded level for the management. If the stock reaches to the max level, management need to shut down the reshipment or replacement process. Otherwise, there may be a possibility of evaporation, distortion, spoils. Clear? Now we need to find out this max level. Then I show mean level. Minimum level is another threat level for the management. Minimum level, or you can say buffer level, or you can say safety stock, safety inventory. Minimum level. Why threat level? If your raw material goes to this level, the management need to maintain or need to manage immediate reshipment or immediate replacement. Otherwise, there may be a possibility of stock out within a short period of time. And stock out means production halts, and production halts means uprising the cost per unit. Clear? So both are the threatened levels. So you need to find out this max and minimum level. So how you can calculate that? Max level equal to reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum uses into damage plumbing. It's a rule, you have to memorize this, nothing more than. Minimum uses into minimum lead time. That means you have to use the minimum from max and min. So to provide you the maximum level. And min level is conventionally min level is reorder level minus average uses into average lead time. Average means you guys will be provided maximum uses, minimum uses, and average is the have to sum up both the two and then divide it by 2. Clear? That will provide you average and average lead time. And this minimum level is your safety stock or buffer level of stock. Clear? Okay. Now, the last one, that is free stock, free inventory. Free stock or free inventory. What do you mean by this? Free stock means the future available of inventory which the organization can sell somebody else. I need to calculate today, after 2 days from now, how much inventory may I have which I can sold out to somebody else. How you can find out that? Suppose this is your existing stock, right? As you are dealing with business so many times, this is your existing stock. As for example, suppose this is X. You have ordered to your supplier but it's still not handed. It's still on the pipeline, right? It's still not reached to your organization premise. That is ordered. Order to supplier. Suppose this is Y. which will come within 2 days. So after 2 days from now, you have total X plus Y much inventory to be sold out, right? Meantime, your customers requisition is Z. Your customer requisition you to provide this amount, but still you will not provide that. Clear? So after 2 days or after some specific time period, what will be your PV amount? X plus Y minus Z. Existing stock plus stock order to the supplier is still not handled or still not comes forward, less customer requisition still not provided. Clear? It will provide you the free inventory. So this is all about. I will discuss the mathematical problem in next class. But the fact is, you guys have to memorize. In the next class, initially I will go for labor costing, another new chapter. Then completing the labor costing, there will be some 15 minutes break. After the break, I will go for the problem solving of today's class material. Clear? Okay, thank you.